Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Reacting to It. I'm Dika, and here we are at the finale of Snowpiercer season 3. What a series, or what a season, sorry, it has been. Really quickly going over last time's episode. We had discovered Melanie. Melanie was found out, and they were able to bring her back onto the train. Unfortunately, Melanie decided to, she's trying to be the voice of reason, and Wilford specifically brought her back to be the voice of reason because he knew if there's nobody else that was going to agree with him or follow what he was saying, Melanie would. And she pretty much did. Even her whole outfit, her whole demeanor, she had the hair slicked black, the black suit. She basically turned on everyone, which essentially means bad news for Layton and the gang because now their safety is compromised. Wilford got what he wanted, which was to throw everyone in chaos. Melanie exposed their lie, meaning Layton's everything regarding Layton, and even the naysayers who weren't sure, the people who were on the fence definitely don't believe him. Even the people in the tail who are using this as an opportunity, as hope, now know the truth. So this has kind of put everything, unfortunately, has chucked a spanner in the works, and obviously divided the team. Harvey is now no longer doesn't trust Ben because Ben had lied to him, and now Melanie's using this sort of motive. Her and Harvey are kind of locked in the Snowpiercer engine. She was going to turn off the track. So as they get to the track towards the Horn of Africa, they're going to turn off because she believes it's too dangerous. A couple of things I forgot to mention last time that were happening was obviously LJ and how, I think as mentioned in the reaction, I think at this point Oswaldo should just ditch her because she is absolutely crazy. Obviously in Professor Hedward, her facility, her lab, there's somebody in there. There's somebody, she's clearly experimenting on, but we don't know who that is and what that is, and I'm not sure if we're going to see them in this battle that's going to go down. And obviously finally another couple, should I say, this should affect is how I love how Till and Audrey had come together. Obviously they were enemies and they were on the wrong side of the fence, different side of the tracks. As we were going through the beginning, as we got into season 2, going through season 3. But obviously they'd come together, they started developing feelings for each other, and unfortunately now, when they'd heard, because they were obviously dancing the night away in the night car, and once they heard the announcement that Melanie made, Audrey didn't look best pleased, because she's pretty sure that, if anything, Till would have known the BS that Layton was on. So I am excited. Here we are with season 3 episode 10, the finale, the original sinners. So that was the finale of season 3 of Snowpiercer. That was really good. I'll be honest with you, straight off the bat, maybe they meant for it like that, but I do feel like that final battle was a little bit underwhelming, but I really love the outcome. It is obvious especially the amount of people from the other side that wanted to see the new world, that it was never about, it was just the fact that the lie they sold, even Dr. Hedward with Boki was there, and I mean I think they still had an interest in wanting to be on the outside. They weren't necessarily evil. But that was epic. I love the title of the episode, The Original Sinners. This came back to Melanie and Layton. This is always about them, and it was literally them versing each other. I like that Wilford was ready to basically draw blood regardless, and he was ready to use a horrible means, and then that would have been in the form of Liana, Layton's daughter. So Wilford coming out, with his evilness, and they took over the night car. He thought he could get everything back, but at that point Audrey was not about that. She wanted to leave, and at that point when even Oswaldo was like, when Rose said anyone that doesn't want to be here, leave, Oswaldo was ready to go, and even LJ wasn't going to go with him. But it's quite sad what happened to her in the end. She didn't want to be alone, but she'd end up dying alone. She choked on her own father's eye for his eyeball, but she ended up dying by herself, all alone. I doubt she'd have had many allies left on the other train. So they decided, so Melanie and Andre Layton decided to come up with a plan to get rid of Wilford. Wilford was the thorn in the side. He needed to go. He was trying to power play, try and take over the train, and try and, he was ready to send Boki's, ready to send Roche and the other brakemen to kind of take Layton down. But luckily they were able to outmaneuver him and get rid of him altogether. So I'm really interested to see what we see. I know, like in season 4, if we see Wilford again, he's obviously gone on that little train track thing, and they're like, that they've given him enough, so basically he's gonna be out circling, so God knows how long he's gonna be alive for, if he stays alive for, or if he decides to keep himself in deep sleep. Who knows. I really did like the plan that they chose in the end. At the end of the day, they came to the compromise that, what, if you're going to take, the science was there to take the risk, and they were willing to take the risk. Now I see why they were very adamant that track was dangerous, and if they did come down that track, there was no coming back. There was no way they would be able to come from that. I like that they were very aware. Melanie and the people left on not the people left on Snowpiercer, but Melanie is very aware of the fact that the train is not a forever solution. The forever solution was to get off the train. The train and the tracks are deteriorating, but friends saying goodbye to friends. She ended up. Ben stayed on. Harvey had to go, and I really did love how we had Miles staying with Melanie. And we had Alex going with Andre. So they've got 2 engineers/3 engineers on either side. So that's good in that respect too. It was really sweet that at the end, it was hard. Everything she went through, Bess didn't want to leave Audrey, and Audrey wanted to stay. And I like the fact that she felt, and she went back to what she was like in season 1. She felt like she had a real place in the train, on the train. She wasn't ready to leave the train, and she felt like she could be more of service there. And with the choice that they had for everyone, pick your side, not pick your sides, but pick is your choice. You can either stay on the train or go. But at the end of the day, Layton was like, don't worry, there's going to be a place for you when you'd come back here. So, it was nice that, we had the engineer splitting, we had friends splitting. Roche and his daughter were definitely ready to get off the train, and I'm happy they chose that path. And I really like I said, I understood it. It occurred to me that yes, so even though with their limited resources and life on Snowpiercer was going to be hard, they were going to share that. The whole tail went with Layton. They were always going to back Layton, so they all went. And just like they saw, it was because of the added weight of Big Alice is now gone. There's whatever resources they have left, they can now distribute that along the whole train. So Melanie's got rid of the whole class system now. Everyone gets a piece of that, and within that back bit where the tailies used to be, you had everyone mixed up in there, which was really nice to see. And we had a good bunch of our friends, our comrades still left on Snowpiercer. The most interesting thing is now that Layton, that was a huge gamble. As you can see, it derailed the train. They were literally driving for their life. And when Harvey and Alex read the temperatures at -10, I was like, shit, because actually it's getting warmer, -5, and they went outside. They actually went outside. I felt like I finally stepped outside when you saw the water. Parts of this place was warming up. People, you had kids on there, like Winnie, for example, who would have never seen outside. She would have never ever known what the real world was. She was literally born on that train. So it was really amazing to see that the struggle was worth it. The fact that they got off the train. So I was very excited for them. Everyone that got off, being able to finally, I don't know. It's just it was satisfactory. Let me tell you that it was so good. And finally at that end bit, I don't know what was released. It was like a rocket or something. At first I thought it was a flare, but then the way it exploded, I was like, that doesn't look like a flare, but it was a rocket. Who and what was firing rockets into the atmosphere? I remember the last time that happened, the Earth froze over. So let's just, I'm wondering if that potentially might be Wilford. He found somewhere he got off and he's just being a dickhead. Maybe there are other survivors. I mean, Asher was able to survive. Maybe there are other people. I wonder how long that warm spot's been there. I mean, it's a fairly good amount of space. So, the people coming off, they've got water first and foremost. So you've got an ability to grow life. So I'm really invested and interested. I'm really happy that the gamble paid off for Andre, Layton, everything that they'd done, everything that they'd fought for. And just like Layton, and I'm really happy that not just Melanie and Alex made their peace, Layton and Melanie made their peace. At the end of the day, this was the best shot for them, and in essence they kind of helped Snowpiercer being able to take a lot of people off back off Snowpiercer off the train. They've got the resources, like she said, may be limited, but is abundant now for everyone else left on the train. So yeah, that was amazing. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely adored it. And I hope you loved it too. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I cannot wait for season 4, and I heard that it's the final season, so I'm really interested to see if Wilfred will return. I'm wondering if, now that they've got New Eden, you know, what they were, the lie that turned into truth and everything, they're going to start building civilization. It will be, I wonder how they're going to get that message out to Melanie and team. Essentially, if they could find a way to build some part of that train to go back on the track, but be able to get that information out. And I wonder what that rocket was that Melanie saw. It clearly doesn't look good if it was something they were trying to shoot up in the atmosphere, because, like I said, they were trying to shoot rockets up to cool down the earth and it froze it over. So yeah, so that was it. Thank you so much. And if you did like this video, as always, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.